country club, Christian, I'm a zealot. Truth's gonna hurt, man, I ain't tryna sell it. And if you think you can refute it, you'll regret it. Cause that's the way it is, like it is, how I tell it. Paint a country club, Christian, I'm a zealot. Truth's gonna hurt, man, I ain't tryna sell it. And if you think you can refute it, you'll regret it. Cause that's the way it is, like it is, how I tell it. Okay, firstly, I gotta address apologetics. It doesn't make sense, I'm not sorry, I don't get it. The fact that he was crucified means that we're all indebted. We should demand to have a culture that doesn't soon forget it. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess it.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Main Character Podcast, level 37. Made possible by the Cult of Con, that's you guys. I am Con Man, and thank you for being here. Guys, holy smokes. I don't know if I can do this.
It's neither land of the free nor is it home of the brave. When you got people here killing babies every day and all the Christians.
Okay. All right. How we doing tonight, everybody? Welcome back to the Main Character Podcast. I'm Con Man. Thank you for being here. Now, I know I just repeated myself, but I'm really trying to get myself on the flow of things, that flow state going, you know? It's Wednesday, hump day, midweek. I hope everybody's doing good. I want to just give you guys one of those welcome honks. Plug your ears, you know what I'm saying? So glad to have you guys here with me, and I will pop over to the chat and say hi to you guys, but I will just say thank you guys for being here. I know we missed a week. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight, as well as a few other crazy things, so get ready. It's going to be a spicy one tonight. Let me just preface it by saying that. All right. Let's pop over to chat. Let's say hi to everybody who's getting in. Buckle up tonight, guys. It's going to be trouble. You probably won't even want to talk to me again after this, but that's okay. Sometimes the truth hurts. All right. But before we get into any trouble, let's say hi. Looks like the chat is already popping off. It's great to see you guys here. Wow. Big crowd tonight. Okay. We got Pam Crane. First one in. Honk, honk. Good to see you, Pam. We got Wendy. We always got Wendy. Wendy is an OG. She's been drinking the Kool-Aid since 2025. Or I guess 2024, probably. Because we technically been around for a little bit now. We came out of nowhere. He just came out of nowhere. He must be a shill. What's up, Susie? Good to see ya. Thanks for being here. We got Trey. We got Trey the Third. I like that. I also like that anti-Freemason logo. I've seen you in like the other chats, brother, and I was like, that's a cool one. I like that. I like the color scheme on it. Like black, white, and red is kind of like that's the cult scheme too. So like it just works out, right? What's up, Jay Verkamp, my friend? Good to see you here tonight, my friend. We got Chokma. Welcome. We got David, my attorney at law. I'm gonna need you, my friend. I'll need your services. I'm just playing. Pepe Sylvia, my friend, welcome in. Hey, Schizo fam. See, that's the way to think about it, right? You just know that you're a little unhinged, but it's okay. So tonight, I'm going to do my best to provide a hinged rant. One that's not unhinged. Let's see if it's even possible, right? TL, welcome in, TL. We got Doctor Who in the house. Now tell me, who are you? Who? You know what I'm talking about? That's a good one. I got a little carried away there for a second. Sandra Moore, Mama Khan, welcome in. Glad to have you. I think we're almost there. We got Sandra Marr, welcome in. Glad to have you back, Sandra Marr. Not to be confused with Sandra Moore. Welcome, Kuza. Good to have you. We got Kathy Slaw. Glad you're back. Missed you last week. It's good to be back, Kathy. Sorry to leave you guys hanging. If I'm going to be honest, I'm not really going to say what it was. I just had some crap come up. There was like personal life stuff, and I had to deal with it, and there was no choice. Sometimes we have to make sacrifices, and it was kind of an issue of if I don't do it now, I have to do it Sunday, and if I do it Sunday, that ruins Sunday service. And I kind of spoke about that during Sunday service last weekend, was just that it's more important that I'm here for that. I really think if I had to quit all my shows, the Sunday service is the most important, because although I run my mouth a lot on here, and I eat food, and I half-ass a fitness video every week or whatever. The Sunday service is all about the scripture and about Jesus. It's really focused on that stuff, which is really important to me. I always say you can't have the truth without the way, the truth, and the life, and that is Christ Jesus. So as far as everything else goes, we're all imperfect people trying to find our way on that narrow path there. And it helps if you have that as your foundation, right? Like everything else, if you can get the Jesus thing, you can get on to everything else. He can do anything else for you. Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and everything else shall be added to you. See, I'm sandbagging because I feel like I might lose it tonight. And I just want you guys to know my heart is in the right place. I have to teach some valuable lessons, apparently, that people don't know. And I'm going to try my best to not make it personal, because it is. But what do you do, right? You just got to roll with the punches and keep on going. It is Wednesday. We got a whole rest of the second half of the week to go, so we can't crash and burn yet. When I say scorched earth, baby, I'm saying I'm going scorched earth because you guys know, and I actually have notes and I need to be referring to my itinerary, but you guys know that I tell it like it is. And sometimes that means I say things and do things that are like otherwise inappropriate, because that's what it costs to tell the truth. I pride myself in a way about the fact that YouTube won't allow me to be monetized, and they've denied me. And I pride myself in a way on that, because it's not that I've done something evil. It's not that I'm out here like hurting people. It's because I say things that the system and the control scheme can't jive with, and they cannot in good faith partner with me. I mean, that's not that hard to understand, but I think that's a badge of honor. I really am speaking the truth so viciously that it prevents me from being on a monetization program. And I think that's better, because I don't do this for money. I think money corrupts you. If you have a big money pile, it gives you a reason to do things, to preserve that money pile, whether it's one you have right now or whether it's one that's coming down the pipeline. If you're worried about holding on to that new merch thing you're about to drop or whatever, you want people to like you or whatever, you want to make sure and protect your brand, when you're pearl clutching like that, it shows that you care about money more than the truth, especially if you're like sputtering off about things that are just imaginary anyway, and that's most of what you do. Like, at least I can say that with Sunday service, it's the most true thing on the channel. Like, I'm reading the Bible, so. What's up, Ben? I don't know if I said hi to you. I'm kind of doing that thing. You know how I do. I weave in and out, right? Yeah, what's up, Cage Fighter? Whoa, chat just jumped. I forget that it does that. I forget that it does that. Wow, we have so many. It's so good to see you guys. We got Darcy. I saw Darcy, Cage Fighter. Trish Clark, welcome in. Joyful One. I think, were we almost there? We got D Kraut, Pearl, Hong Kong Carrot. One more of these for everybody. The honorary, because everyone hates it so much, so I just rammed the horn even harder. Yeah. I know you guys don't hate it, but apparently it's controversial in the community. I found this out. There are people in the creators who don't like it. They don't like the smell of the cult of Khan. They don't want that Kool-Aid splashed on their perfect white robes. Sorry. I'm a little triggered. Did I get you guys? Are we up? Are we up? Are we caught up? I don't know if I'll ever be. What's up, Mad Pax? Welcome in, my friend. Good to see ya. I'm glad you're here for tonight. I'm glad all of you guys are here. I'm glad to have you guys here. We got Adrienne. Welcome in. All right, everyone. Since we're all here, let's go ahead and talk. Let's talk business. Bleh. Let's do it. Wow. Let me see if I can find where I'm at. All right, first things first, for those of you guys who are brand new, welcome to the Cult of Khan. We are here on youtube.com, right here, the good old homepage. That's like our basically main hub. I don't really put content anywhere else. They haven't banned me yet. We'll see if that happens anytime soon. But for now, you can find us here on the Cult of Khan, youtube.com/the Cult of Khan. And, well, actually, I don't think that's accurate. Yeah, actually, it is. It is. Check it out up top. Check that. Oh, you don't get a URL. Sorry. The way I'm sharing my screen doesn't show my browser. Sorry. But it is youtube.com/@the Cult of Khan. videos apparently. But yeah, that's where we're at. If you guys are new, feel free to browse around and check out some of my rantings. Most of the stuff I do is live, so live tabs where it's at. But if you do land on the videos page, you'll find my videos called Guys Gotta Eat, where I review food as I go from being a very poor and uncultured person to someone who's tried many new things. As part of my personal development program, I believe in the 5 F's: faith, family, fun, food, and fitness. Was that 5? Faith, family, fun, food, fitness. Boom! 5 F's of the Cult of Con. Let's give it one more of these honks real quick so that we can enjoy the glory of all those wonderful F's. Yeah. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Cult of Con on YouTube. And if you are interested at all in supporting the channel, you can find us here on patreon.com/thecultofcon. And we have a great number of wonderful creators who, I can still demonstrate it. I always do like a little, I don't know what you would call it. It's like a little poster that I make. And I keep it updated almost daily, every week for sure, showing who our regular supporters are. So just a quick shout out to our supporters on patreon.com. And super grateful for your guys' support. We've got a lot of new supporters recently, so welcome all of you guys to the channel. Welcome to the community. Sorry, I know you've been drinking the Kool-Aid and now it's had a strange effect on you, but apparently it's working. So with that being said, thank you guys for your support. I appreciate it, but understand that you don't have to send money. I appreciate it, but I'm not here for that. And one day they might delete me because I go too far, and then in which case I don't know what would be the point of supporting me. But as it stands, you guys have got me camera, car parts, and all kinds of other crap that I needed to get from there to here, and it's been really amazing. So the support of this community has been fantastic. You guys have really made this worthwhile and made Wednesday night a really awesome time. So thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. And with all that being said, I think it's time we get down to brass tacks, don't you think? Let's see. Oh, I got good stuff. I got good stuff before bad stuff. How about that? Let's do like a sandwich of good things first. So let me see if I can figure out. I've got to get I got multiple tabs up because I got to figure out how I'm going to. All right, here we go. What I'm going to share with you guys right now was created by one of our supporters, Mike D. It is an AI creation, so if this makes me satanic, then I guess I'm evil because I played an AI song. Are we that triggered? Are we that sensitive, or can I play it? I think it's pretty funny and awesome, and it even has the lyrics, which are. I couldn't have written this because it would make me sound so narcissistic, but I think it's awesome. So everybody buckle up and get ready to check out the AI-driven Cult of Con theme song. I don't know what you would call it, but let's go. Yeah.
With a voice so bold, preaching truth not bought or sold. He grips the Bible, the word is his guide, revealing the truth the world tries to hide. From Babylon's fall to the serpent's grin, he shows us where the darkness creeps in. Welcome to the Cult of Con, where the veil gets torn and the light shines on. Sounding the trumpets, raising the call, teaching that Jesus and the devils fall. So open your eyes, the battle's begun. Truth is a fire and con is the gun. He speaks of the saints and the martyrs' cry, of the kingdoms rising and reasons why. The little season, Satan unbound, deception dancing all around. But con stands firm, he won't back down, lifting the cross, no backing down. Whoa, welcome to the Cult of Con, where the veil gets torn and the light shines on. He's sounding the trumpets, raising the call, teaching that Jesus and the devils fall. So open your eyes, the battle's begun. Truth is a fire and con is begun.
Yeah. Let's go.
He dives into truth and ancient lore, unlocking secrets from heaven's door. He warns of chips, of marks, of signs, of deceptive prophets in modern times. But through the fear there's hope and grace. In Jesus' name we find our place. So if you're lost or feeling down, tune into the voice of Khan. It's not just a channel, it's more than a show. It's truth for the ones who seek and know. And know. In a world in your eyes, the battle's begun. Truth is a fire and Khan is the gun.
Yeah.
Truth is a fire and Khan is the gun.
Yeah, that's funny, man. That is awesome, dude. Thank you for making that, man. Thank you, Mike D, for putting that together. It's really awesome. I'll drop the link into the chat here for you guys real quick. And then I will put it into the description of the video so you guys can enjoy it. Oh, it says the link is too long actually for the chat. All right, well, stick around for later. I will throw it into the video description at the end of the stream. Wow, awesome, dude. Thank you again, Mike D, for that. That was a lot of fun. I mean, I know it's like, it's not perfect, but nothing ever is. I just think it's funny because I've never heard anything speak so highly of me. And then this AI comes out saying, the truth is a fire and Khan is the gun. I thought that was so funny. I was on my back porch laughing. Like, not laughing at anyone, but just about how hilarious that is. It's like, it's kind of true, like, it's in some ways, but like, it's saying stuff. I'm like, unlocking the secrets of, I don't do anything. It's so funny to me, dude. I think it's great, bro. Thank you, Mike. That was hilarious. We're not done. I've got another one for you. Let me see if I can figure out how this works. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, awesome. We have another awesome member of our community here called James Kershaw, who created this amazing, there's actually a couple of videos in the creation. And I don't know if I'm gonna get into like a copyright thing about it. Like, I don't know. So I will play it and I will mute the music and I'll just put back on the rest of Exceeder in the background so that you guys can enjoy this, because this is pretty cool. I like this one. Let me go ahead and get the music back really quick. I don't remember where we were on this song, but we'll just we'll kick it off like right at the beginning again. Let's go.
Ain't a country club Christian, I'm a zealot. Truth's gonna hurt, man, I ain't tryna sell it. And if you think you can refute it, you'll regret it, cause that's the way it is, like it is how I tell it. Ain't a country club Christian, I'm a zealot. Truth's gonna hurt, man, I ain't tryna sell it. And if you think you can refute it, you'll regret it, cause that's the way it is, like it is how I tell it. Okay, firstly, I gotta address apologetics. It doesn't make sense, I'm not sorry, I don't get it. The fact that he was crucified means that we're all indebted. We should demand to have a culture that doesn't soon forget it. Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess it. Christ is king, listen up, get the message. The time is short, the deception is impressive. The church itself is corrupted and wretched. They preach about grace, no righteousness expected. God gaze at the Pope because their sin is accepted. The devil calls, they don't even try to reject it. They're employed by Satan, they are tax exempted. Ain't a country club Christian, I'm a zealot. Truth's gonna hurt, man, I ain't tryna sell it. And if you think you can refute it, you'll regret it, cause that's the way it is, like it is how I tell it. Ain't a country club Christian, I'm a zealot. Truth's gonna hurt, man, I ain't tryna sell it. And if you think you can refute it, you'll regret it, cause that's the way it is, like it is how I tell it. It's neither land of the free, nor is it home of the brave. When you got people here killing babies every day, and all the Christians here think that they can get away if they throw a couple bucks into the bucket on Sunday. But I don't think that that's the way it works. He said to seek the kingdom and its righteousness first, but you wanna grab a handbag, a Rolex, and what's worse, you think that you deserve it, but the bubble's about to burst.
I just think it's super cool, man.
Got the sword in my left, in the right Smith & Wesson. And I don't think it's wise for you to try to be testing. If you become a Goliath, then I'ma teach you a lesson. It's a cost to
In its original form,
is the
the party bus videos have this like really nice like Forza music. Jay's like, is that the Sting from Top Gear Driving? I think it is. I'm not even joking, because I think Forza has the different driver characters. We'll have to ask him. We'll have to ask James who it is that's driving the car. Wow. This is perfect. This really is. Let me go ahead and just mute the song. Thank you guys for participating in this. I will share also the party bus video. There's 1 and 2. There's 2 different ones. I almost think the second one's better. It actually goes on for a while, so I'm thinking about maybe using it for like an intermission for the show. So like at the halfway point, I can basically like put on that little bus driving around, maybe my original music, you know, and then that'll just be like, maybe we could do like an intermission or something, you know. So like basically, if for some reason I gotta go do something, or if I just need to like break, you know, halfway through the stream, maybe do a little intermission show or something like that, I feel like that bus is perfect for it. All right, with all that being said, guys, holy crap. If you guys have been here 20-something minutes in, you know, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're still here, if you're not already subscribed, and get ready for what's to come, because I have to, because it's my responsibility to go absolutely scorched earth over here. So I guess I have to refer to my notes, or I'll get unhinged, and it won't be a hinged rant, so to speak. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, and you guys know this about me, I came here with the purpose of speaking the truth unmitigated as I see it. And it doesn't mean that I'm going to be right all the time, okay? And as I started this stream tonight, I made it clear that the priority in life is Jesus and his kingdom, and that's what I'm really trying to do. Ultimately, that's what all I really care about. I don't care about money. I don't care about even succeeding on YouTube. A year ago, I had no YouTube channel. I'm blessed that you are here with me. But this is, it's mainly just that I didn't want to do something that was like fleeting or shallow. And I enjoy making videos, eating food and talking about bettering your health and working out, dude. I've made a lot of progress this year with you guys. With your support, I have come a long way in the last year, just even to where I like try to say curse words less. People who've been watching the show know I try not to fill up my swear jar anymore, you know? And these things are just part of what it is in life. We all have problems. We all got stuff we need to work on. We're all trying to learn and grow. And so when I come out against anything or whatever, it's because I'm trying to, I don't know how to explain it. I just want to be an example of how to think critically, even if I have to do it against myself. You know what I'm saying? So like when I do Sunday service, I have to reflect on my own iniquity and BS so that I can reflect on that and then try to grow from that and try to and relate that to the scripture. Okay, so that's what I do with Sunday service. And then in my regular life, it's the same. I have to think about what I do and what I say and how it impacts people. And ever since I got into the, I guess you could say, little seasoned community here on the YouTube space, I was, you know, I felt like I had been nothing but positive and encouraging to everybody. And I've always wanted to be that way because I've been a negative Nancy before. No offense, Nancy. I know we have a supporter named Nancy. You're great. But anyway, I didn't want to be a negative Nancy. We have a positive Nancy. But anyway, I was feeling like, you know, what we need to be in the world is what we're missing in the world, right? Like, and I know it sounds kind of cliche, but what I'm getting at is that, like, I was looking for the internet to produce people that I needed in my life. And I was like, dude, I'm not finding it. And so I decided I have to become the person that the internet is missing. And in the process of that, I found amazing individuals. The creators in this circle, the community of people who participate in the discussions, the live chats, the everything. This community that believes in Jesus, number one, and number two, questions what we're told, questions what we're believing, what we've chosen to believe. It's always subject to another layer of what's the word? Scrutiny. That's the word I'm looking for. So when we're in this community, we have to be scrutinizing everything. What's up, Jason Jack? I see you down there, my friend. Good to have you here. I'm gonna be saying some crazy stuff, but not about you, bro. You good. In fact, I'm going to take a moment to say that there are a few members who are creators in this space that I really look up to and appreciate. And you guys know who they are. They're like my main people that I hang out with on here, you know. Paul, who gave life to my channel in the first place. JT, Ricardo, Rev, Richard from Ceiling Fan Man Show. Brian from Demon Erasers. If I miss you, I'm sorry. I've had some negative run-ins lately, I'll say. I hope I didn't miss anyone. I have a list. Where are they? I got everybody whose show I was on in the last 2 weeks. The point I'm trying to make is that those guys have been really good to me and really had my back, and supported me and given me a fair shake, right? Like, none of these guys decided, oh, I think this about that guy, but without listening to my music, listening to my content and talking to me personally. So these guys have given me a fair shake at least. And I don't think that means that any of these guys, including Jason Jack, even though I didn't go on his show, he's here with us tonight. So all of these people have given me a fair shake, even though I know I'm rough around the edges and I know that I've got some, I don't know what you could say, like iniquity. Like, there's that. And just what I'm getting at is that, like, none of these guys have endorsed me and said that they believe what I believe, or that they think that you guys should take everything I say to heart or whatever. And that's okay, because we're all in this learning experience together trying to figure it out, you know. So I'm grateful to all those guys, that whole circle, and more too. The circle that expands beyond just the creators, but in this space specifically, I've always had it out to be a positive influence on the community at large. I wanted to encourage people to bring a positive vibe. You know, that's party bus. That's what it's all about, right? So I've always kind of been like telling people, yo, check out these channels, hit the like button, subscribe, and really encouraged you guys as well to be an active community. I think that we really have created in the size that we are. We are the best internet community I've ever experienced on YouTube. Like, the actual love for one another, the actual seeking of the truth is huge. It's really there, to the point that, like, people are so paranoid that they're questioning each other. You know, everyone, you can't trust anyone, they're all a snake in the grass, you know? And I respect it. Like, as a guy who named his channel The Cult of Con, and who calls himself Con Man, I understand that there's a high ceiling there for normal people to be able to look past that initial stuff and then be able to see me as a real person who's just making content on the internet. I'm just a normal guy. So, and I did that on purpose, right? I've discussed this in the past, that I made myself appear a little unapproachable so that I wouldn't be approached by people who didn't have the mental capacity to see past obvious, like, it's a show. It's a comedy show, you know? So it's like, you would think that people would be able to tell that it's like, it's just a theme, you know? And if for some reason they're offended by that, you would think they would be like, is he serious? And I've had people say this. I've had friends in our group who, like, talk to me, got to know me, and they're like, oh, I had all the wrong ideas about that guy. And I know that I play a great role in that by demonstrating myself to be this, like, kind of a character. But I am the real deal. I'm not anything but who I really am. I pride myself on that, even if it bites me in the butt when it comes to making money doing the thing. So the point I'm trying to make is that I'm a truther at absolute max. I used to sit around watching everybody, watching YouTubers and you know, truth rappers and whoever it was, watching people talk and the diatribe and then the discourse, and I just felt like I needed to get in. I wanted to say stuff. I wanted to ask questions I didn't hear people asking, and I wanted to push the barrier. I wanted to create the cutting edge of conspiracy content where we're not gonna be told we're racists or that we're heretics. Like, we're so past the terms, the ad hominem. Like, if you're gonna call me anything, you can just believe it. If you think I'm a shill or some agent of evil, good, then think it and live in fear of what I might do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, I think that the cutting edge of conspiracy theory research are people who are we're not bought into the surface level BS. right? Like if one of you said something to me, my brother always puts it this way. If you told me there was an 11 gauge shotgun, am I going to say, no, I don't know that, dude. If you produce the 11 gauge and show me, I'm wrong because I took a stand without knowing. Okay, so like when I when I am talking about stuff that I think is a joke or I'm speculating, it's obvious. I'm like spitballing. I say it like all the time. But when it comes to stuff I know is real, I'm not messing around. And a lot of it is not that I know something factually as much as it is that I know how to view these things, right? I know how to look at the situation. That's my strong suit. I'm not the best teacher. I'm not the best, I'm not a great Christian. I'm a sinful man. But I know how to think critically. I'm very critical. It's like, it's my gift and my curse. Nothing's good enough. Nothing is how it seems. And you could go crazy if you let yourself. From how much of it is actually against you and crazy and rigged, and how much of it you might just believe that it is. And that happens, you know? But what I'm getting at is that I understand this phenomenon of seeking answers where there's a question. I want to know what that question leads to. And if I don't have it, I'm going to keep looking. And whenever there's something I don't know, I look for the answer. I don't just decide. Like, how do you think we got this far? To decide that the Bible is real and that science and history and everything we've been taught isn't? That's a long journey to be on. And to me, it's absolutely unacceptable that anybody this far along in the truth journey, on their walk with Christ or anything like that, would pass judgment on, like, even somebody like me. Like, you should be a good enough by now Christian and truther to be able to identify that I love Jesus and it's just a nickname. You know what I mean? It's a nickname. My grandma gave it to me. You don't even watch my show? Okay? You didn't even look. So what I'm getting at is, since we're truthers, we expect truth and we expect high critical thinkers, especially from people who are like, the leaders of the community. And I'm not dissing on my friends who I just named. All of those people have given me a chance, but there are other people who I don't need to name who are in the community who don't like me and they don't have a good reason for it. It's petty and it's BS. And I'm the kind of person who I usually just stay out of it. I'm not here to roast them. I'm here to like teach a lesson to these people that think that they're leaders in the community as they're acting like children. They're petty and they're not even researching. They're like condemning me and they haven't even watched my show. I know it because if they did, they'd hear the stuff that you guys hear me say and they'd believe what I'm saying was true. Because I say, you can't have the truth without the way, the truth, and the life, and that is Christ Jesus. Am I lying? You know what I mean? You don't say Jesus enough. I had that as a criticism. And I've got some great stuff to share with you guys because what's happened is that some of these people in the community have gotten so unhinged from the fact that they've been lied to by everybody that they think that normal people are agents and shills. Like, to the point where it's like, look, I was hearing Paul lamenting about how everyone was calling him a shill, and I just didn't understand. Because I know he's got a like 80K subs or whatever, but I've never lived that life, so I just didn't know. And then in recent times, I found out that some people like think I'm involved in some stuff, and we'll talk more about it. And it was like it's almost like it's like a weird, it's like a violating feeling, because there's like unhinged people making stuff up about you in their mind, and they're crazy. And like I joke, oh, I'm the crazy conspiracy guy. And then you see the stuff that these people are producing as evidence for why they think I've done. And I can't wait to share with you guys the claims they've made because it's hilarious. It's hilarious. And what I'm getting at is just that we expect better, we deserve better, and I will not tolerate anything less. Like at this stage in history, we do not need people in the group who are going to come out and be like, well, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't even look. You didn't even listen. So here's the example I'll give. Some people know about this, and I'm not going to name them by name. But there was a channel that went after Paul and JT and other members of the Little Season community for the hagiography thing, right? Because a discussion was had on a channel about understanding conspiracy. Someone sought to understand a conspiracy, and somebody decided to lambaste Paul and JT over it, saying that they were, producing false information or whatever, where, if you just watched the show, which all of us did, you'd know that right at the beginning, Paul was saying, well, we don't know if any of this is true, that we're digging into this because we're a research group. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you got in trouble for investigating crimes. What do you care about crime? What do you know about it? These guys are trying to shill for murder. You know what I mean? Like, no, there's something here and we want to know what it is, so we're looking into it because we're not afraid. We're going to ask the tough questions, right? So Paul, JT, Adam, Adby, Dan Blue on X. These people are just asking questions and trying to figure it out and using every tool at their disposal, which is totally okay. Just don't. And if you find nothing, you find nothing. Why would you condemn anyone over that except for that you didn't watch the video? So then imagine that you made a video about Paul and JT talking trash about what they're propagating heretical nonsense. You didn't even watch the video. Why would you make a video about them without watching the video they made? That's just dishonest. It's petty. It sucks. And I'll talk more about that. Lost my headphone. I'll talk more about that in a bit. And I got more stuff. Of course, I'm weaving all over the place. I'm kind of upset. I'm trying to be chill, but okay. The point is, let me go back here and let me just say, this is important that I clarify. I am a man who has sinned in his life. More than I wish I did. More, obviously. I have been a villain in my past. Maybe not the kind of villain that that people wish that I was, or that they have imagined that I was, but in many ways I have been a selfish, terrible person in my life, and I've done horrible things to people, and I regret it. Okay, what else can you do? It's like, and I really believe that that's the beauty of the whole thing, is that Saul can be made into Paul. And I'm not saying that's me, but I'm just saying that, like, if God can take someone as wretched as Paul and make him into someone as wonderful or as wretched as Saul and make him into someone as wonderful as Paul, then he can take somebody like as wretched as me and make me into 1% or whatever, or none. I don't even care. The point I'm trying to make is that it's not about me being great. I know I'm not great. When I first started this channel, I had a video called "You Deserve Me." It's actually available on Patreon for members. And it's basically me in kind of my more worldly mindset saying, like, dude, it sucks around here. Everything sucks. Don't be mad at me because I suck too. It's a world of shit. You deserve shit. You deserve me. That was the message. And I've grown a little bit, okay? I've grown. I don't like saying profanity. I felt bad saying it. That's the quote. And in the last year I've grown. I don't want to use profanity. I don't want to be a mad guy in a mask yelling on the internet, okay? And that's who I was. Not that long ago. And I figured out that it's important that you speak the truth and you be your real self, no matter what. So that's where I'm at right now. And people know that most of what I do on this channel is for fun. It's like a joke. Aside from Sunday service, which is dead serious, it's about having a good time with you guys. I'm here to, like, enjoy the fact that in the world we are rejected by the mainstream for the things we've chosen to look into and believe, for the faith that we have. We are rejected by the world. And so to come together as a group is a special thing, and we gotta be able to enjoy it, because all that the truther world has ever done is lived in fear and anger and frantic about how everyone needs to know. We can't let this go on any longer, as if a single person has the ability to seat and unseat kings like Jesus. As if anybody here has power to stop NASA or Trump. He's moving into Greenland. It's the end of the world. What are we going to do? Everyone panic. Let me make more videos about it. Like, as if you can do anything. Like, why do you worry about these things? That's what Jesus says. Why? Today's problems are sufficient for themselves. And you know what? I was at work and I was like having to stay late. And I'm like, dude, I got to work tonight. I got to do my show. And I'm stuck at work and there's freaking giant shop vac. Dude. Okay, we got enough problems today. Tomorrow is a whole other can of worms we don't need to worry about. Anyway, I just want to say I appreciate the inner sanctum of Little Season creators who have invited me in and the community who has invited me in so graciously and allowed me to share this space here with you guys to talk about this stuff and to be here with you guys and to dig into this stuff and get to the bottom of it, whatever the cost. That's just what it is. And I'm tremendously grateful for the creators in the space who have given me the room to talk, never condemning me as a Satanist or a cult guy, even though it is a cult, but not really. And I appreciate that about you guys. I appreciate you guys giving me a fair shake because I enjoy your guys' company. I really do. I could come here on Wednesday night. We're real people. We have real lives, but this is a chance for us to just be ourselves. You don't have to, don't say that thing about dinosaurs, you know? You can't tell them dinos aren't real. They all believe in that. But this group gets it. Okay? And so it's like, yeah, we're a little unhinged. We're a little abnormal. But I think that we're good. The community, it lives on. And I'm just grateful for those who have had my back in all this. And I guess this is what it is. Like, there are people in the community who are they're not the same kind of people. That's the only way I can put it. There are people in our circle who don't do this like transparency thing like everyone else does, where it's like, I just say what I think, dude. I don't care if it sucks. The truth hurts. It's ugly. It sucks. And if I'm going to say it and you don't like it, that's just too bad, dude. So if I put out an episode questioning World War II and that freaks you out, maybe you need to check yourself. Maybe you have some internal searching to do, because I'm not the first person to question the narrative of World War II. Patton himself was questioning it right the frickin' day it ended. The truth has to be spoken. I don't like how we live in America, and it's like land of the free, home of the brave, we the people, right? And everyone here is like, the government works for us, but then everything's classified. I can't know what they know about saucers or conflicts or tunnels under Greenland. I can't know because I'm not privy. And I hate that, man. That's the whole reason I'm here. Because the truth should be spoken. It's not supposed to be held up in some fence or behind a redacted with black lines because because you don't like what it is. Because it's offensive, because it's scary, because I'm trying to preserve my new clothing brand that I'm launching. That shit makes me mad, dude. You're dishonest. You're a pearl clutcher. The truth is horrible, and it should be spoken freely. That's the only way we move forward. You'll know it, and it shall set you free, right? That's the formula. And all I'm getting at is just that if I was in charge, I would tell you guys everything. You know? Like, if there was something for you guys to know, you can count on me to tell you, even if people don't like that I told you. Even if the way I see it isn't the way other people see it and they don't like it. That's just the way it is. So, there are a couple main things to address. The first thing is that, unfortunately, and I'm sure you guys have heard because I know Paul made an official announcement, and I know everybody's feeling really sore about it too. So let's be honest, like, everyone wanted to get together for a conference. We talked about it. Little season conference. And at the very inception of the idea, everybody agreed that is the coolest idea ever, right? Like, I can just imagine all of us, and we wear like suits and we're like showing up and it's really cool. And we get to talk about Jesus and the fact that he spoke the truth. And then what he says is more important than all this nonsense we already figured out is BS about space balls and all kinds of crap. Yeah, we wanted to get together. We wanted to talk about real stuff. We wanted to we wanted to be legitimate, right? Because we've only ever been the outcast for thinking the truth and for following Jesus. You're the outcast for that. Because if you're questioning the church eschatology, you're a heretic. And if you're questioning mainstream Satanism, then you're a Christian and you're a fool to them. So it's like the truth just makes you an outcast. It's a fact. And we were like, dude, a conference. That's like, now we're legitimate. And people like Paul and JT, who have put in an incredible amount of work into this stuff, could talk about what they've found in these years of research. Collaborating together and with other people such as myself and with like Ricardo, Contend for the Faith, who was here tonight. Good to see you, brother. Great guy. Love his channel, by the way. But yeah, like, we wanted to see that come to fruition because it was a really cool idea. But I started getting feelings like it wasn't going to happen. And there are reasons for this that I have that are different from other people. But the point I'm trying to make is the whole story, because I'm just going to tell you guys the whole story because that's what you deserve. That's what the truth is. That's what it's all about. And my truth, I hate that term. The experience I had is different than the experience that Paul had, JT had, Jason, Jack. The other people involved in this had a different experience. And that's not to say that they're wrong or I'm wrong or anything. It's just stories are different from different perspectives. But let me tell you what I saw. There's a gal. I'm just going to say her name. She's the one who brought it out. Her name is Deb. And I have nothing against Deb as a human being, so let me start by saying that. From what I've heard, Deb is a sister in Christ, and that's the only thing that really matters at the end of the day. All right? We got to remember that. But we were trying to make this thing happen, right? And as you guys know, a conference is a big deal. As Paul discussed in his post about it, it's a very large, ambitious thing to try to put together a conference. And all of us are kind of, grassroots creators. We came out here from nowhere. We came out of nowhere. And so, like, the idea of us being able to put something on like that, it sounds amazing. And I don't think it's impossible. But it was a little bit bigger than what I could believe I was capable of, based on my resources and my logistics and the time frame. And there was a lot of reasons that I could articulate that are actually preventative. It's not about what I want to do. Like when people mention you change your mind about something, it's not that I changed my mind. It's that I don't have enough money. You know what I mean? Like, I get rich. I get flying across the country for my own grandma. I mean, luckily my grandparents live out here, but you know what I'm saying? Like, people just don't understand because they live in different worlds, okay? And I don't know Deb as a person, but I never saw Deb in any chats or knew about her as a member of the community. It was claimed that she was, but I didn't know her like you guys, who I see all the time. And if any one of you was like, I think we should do a conference, I'm an organizer, I can help you do it, I would have been like, that's amazing, let's go. But I didn't know Deb. And so I didn't know what to think about her, and I didn't condemn Deb. I thought I should be cautious because I don't know this person. And when I was younger, I was in a rock band. I was in a metalcore band, and we were a signed band. We had like a contract, and we were like, we did a record deal, like we were making it. Of course, we didn't because we were like dumb kids, and we got basically robbed. But we worked with promoters, people who are responsible for booking events, and there's nothing criminal about doing that. It's just you got to get acts to come in, and then their fans come in and then pay, and then the money pays for them and for you. That's how you make your money. It's just business. And that's what I think is so important about this, because I used to work in car sales when I was younger. I worked at a Toyota car dealership, and I would have leads, right? Like people I'm working on. Basically, it's the same as events I was trying to book, but they were sales I was trying to close. Somebody suggested an idea. I thought you would look great in that Toyota Tundra. And then they don't call me back because they bought another truck, or they don't have any money, or they died, or whatever it was. And I didn't get mad at them when they don't return my call, or they tell me not interested, or I bought a truck from someone else at your dealership. Wow, you backstabbed me, dude. Am I mad? No, it's just work. It's just business. So if you're a promoter and you decide, look, we're not going to book your band because the other bands in town don't like you, and that's complicated for me. Yeah, our band was the one that sold more tickets. Our band was the one that was fiscally the right idea. But this is a guy. He's trying to maintain a business. He's trying to maintain relations with these other things. I understand why he says you're blacklisted, can't work with you guys because the other bands don't like you because you weren't born in Portland. You're from Battleground, a little hick town, and they don't approve of you because you're new. You came out of nowhere. I guess that's a problem. Being successful is a problem in people's mind. Just keep that in mind. There's this whole thing about the penalty of leadership. It's in all the old Cadillac manuals. Read it. I read it one time on this channel. It's just that people can't stand to see you rise. They hate it. And anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought there. I'm just saying that we've got problems here in the community, and it's just the fact that people they're not critical about what really matters, right? They're like, we're critical thinking, but not when it comes to real things. And so I'm communicating with the organizer, Deb. And again, I'm nothing against her as a person. She was nice to me. She was totally cordial. She didn't do anything. But what happened was she reached out to me for a phone call to talk about the plan. And what had been concocted was that I would be co-hosting the event with Nicolette from Biblically Based. She's awesome. I would have loved to have done that. Again, this has nothing to do with like my intentions. I just don't think I could fiscally perform this. Like I just don't have it. I don't have the resources. but my heart was always in it. But anyway, so I talked to Deb on the phone as kind of like a preliminary for the organization of this thing. And what I felt like when I talked to her was that she was trying to sell me something, because I've sold things and I know salespeople, and you know, I'm very socially intelligent. I didn't finish high school. I didn't go to college. I was a street kid. I've been around people all my life. Many people, strangers, more time with strangers than my own family, from like 14 wasted in Portland and downtown and stuff, meeting all kinds of people from every walk of life. My education is in people. And so when someone's a salesperson, I know what you smell like. Okay? And it's not your fault, but it's your job. You're the one who works as an event coordinator. You chose that career. You need to convince people that this is going to happen. And that doesn't mean you're not invested in it, but you have to make money. And so for me, it's like, I don't have to make money. I don't care. And so I don't do things with that motivation. I do things based on what's best for people, what's best for the truth, what's best for the community, right? And so that's all that matters. So when I'm hearing this pitch, I'm just thinking, okay. And I was having problems. You know what the problems were? I'll tell you, because you guys get the truth. I'm just going to tell you. And it's not to say these other guys, my boys, are not going to like come out here and scorch their channel down by being a big, like, by fanning the flames, burn the bridges. Like, don't be mad at them because they're way more professional than me. Like, that's okay. Paul's statement was totally accurate. It's way too ambitious for any of us to have thought we could pull this off. You live and you learn. Try next year, maybe 10 years. Who knows? But I felt like I was being sold something, and I couldn't afford the payment, the note. And so what I said to her was, if we can make this happen, I'm totally down to do it. And that's the truth. I got it in writing. I got receipts. And I just said to her, like, if we can pull this off, if we can do it, I'd love to. But as things got more and more progressed, we saw this wasn't going to work. We're not going to be able to make this happen. Here's the example, right? She said we needed to come up with $15,000 as the preliminary down payment to do this thing. $15,000. And like, that's not to insult her, but it's just like, dude, I don't think I've ever had $15,000 to my name. I've never had 15 grand. I've never even had a 15 grand net worth. Yeah, when I worked in car sales, I got like 45 grand cash for a truck one time and had it in a Safeway bag. And that was the most money I've ever held in my hand, but it wasn't my money. I can't tell you the number because I don't know, but it's like under 10 grand is the most I've ever had in my life. I have struggled my whole life. I was born poor and I have worked and been poor. Many choices I've made that made it worse or didn't make it better. But the point I'm trying to make is I've never seen money like that. So when someone casually says to me, oh, we'd look at probably about 15K, I immediately realize you and I are not the same people. 15K to you is a fart in the wind because whatever life you lived is not the same as mine. We are not the same people. That 15 grand casual is what? Like I could use $500 right now. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh. And so it's not against her. We're just different. We see things differently. And so she was asking if we could find sponsors for the event. Assuming that, since we're also middle class and stuff, well, I'll just hit up my friend who owns that sign company and my other friend who owns the distribution network for whatever. You know what I mean? Like, who are all these people? Where is all this money coming from? And so it's $15K because we have to reserve the event and we have to plan all this food and we have to do this. I get it. That's just too big for my britches. And then we started talking about more math. We started talking about, Okay, what would it really take to do it? What would it really take for us to get, 1,000 people? 1,000 people. I mean, we got all together. I mean, we got 1.74K right here. If we got everyone who's subbed here to show up, that'd be pretty wild. But even just say, like, between all of us, Jason Jack and JT and Bio Charisma, I think he was potentially going to be there too, and Paul, obviously, and like we could probably get 1,000 people, maybe. I don't know, not really. And I'll talk about that, but 1,000 people is like if we could do that, we would totally make it. And then I thought to myself, you guys saw the surveys, those of you guys who did it, it was like, what's the ticket price going to be like? Oh, like $130 or more. So if we get 1,000 people and it's $130 a ticket, we're talking about like $130,000. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. Like, we're talking about, this is endeavors way bigger than our little channels, man. This is like real business money. And it was discussed, like, well, if we can get 1,000, well, we could get maybe up to 2,500. Like, we're hoping to get maybe 1,000 or 2,500. And look, again, it's nothing against Deb, but it's just, we are not eye to eye, bro. Like, 2,500 people, $300 and something thousand. I don't even have words to explain how I was just dumbfounded by the data. When I saw the data, I was like, this is not, what is this? Are we Kenneth Copeland over here? Am I Kenneth Copeland? What is this? Like, listen, there's a guy on YouTube called Paul Harrell. You can still sub to his channel. He's no longer with us because he died like 90 days ago from aggressive terminal cancer. And Paul Harrell was an amazing legend of the YouTube gun community. He had over 1 million subscribers, and he was in his final months, his deathbed, and he said, I want to tell the stories I couldn't tell on YouTube. I'm going to have a symposium so that my most loyal people can come and hear the stories. Paul Harrell got like 200 people to come on his deathbed, with an audience of people who have an expensive habit. Guns and ammo are expensive. These guys are not lacking the money to fly out to see their hero. They have jobs, they have lives, they have families. They ain't got time to fly across the country for some thing. And the fact that I was there, able to see Paul and listen to his story, Paul Harrell, and listen to his story and and be there with those dudes, and like, that was an amazing symposium. I have a magazine that he signed. It's probably going to be worth something someday. But that guy was a legend. Ask anyone who like watches gun YouTube. That guy was a legend. And he could get like 200 people to come out to his Podunk hotel for the conference. That tells me we are not doing it, dude. It's just not, it's not in the cards to ask you guys to fly to a cold ass city in the middle of the continental US in the middle of the winter, a week and a half before Thanksgiving, so that you can listen to us do what we do for free? Like, I'm not trying to cheapen what we're doing here, but talk is cheap, dude. And we're blessed that you guys see value in what we do. We're blessed that this community is able to offer insight and new ways of thinking and ask questions we didn't ask before. And everyone has their flair. Everyone has their place in this body. I think it was Cincinnati. Did I say it was Cleveland? Whatever. It's Ohio. It's cold in the winter. Anyway, we are blessed that we have this community. Though small, it is true, and it is wonderful, and it is good. And that is what matters to me, quantity or quality over quantity, I always say. And we are working and growing and building, and our relationships are growing, and we're learning to meet up with each other in our areas and coordinate, and we're building friendships that will last forever, regardless of what happens to the internet or what happens to YouTube or whatever. We'll never forget who Jesus is, the King of Kings. We'll never forget that he spoke the truth. And we'll never forget how great of a revelation that was for all of us to be able to figure that out. That's so cool. Amen. But are we getting a conference out of the deal? Probably not. Not right now. Not for some time. And that's okay. Because we will have a conference in eternity forever. At the very least. And that's a lot. But yeah, so Deb, she's a nice lady. I really don't doubt that she believes in the Lord, but it wasn't going to work out. And unfortunately, she was upset by the situation, and she and I had a little back and forth, and I basically told her, I was like, she sent me an email that made me feel like I was being gaslit because it felt like she didn't take what I said to heart. She didn't read what I said, or she didn't listen to me. And this is me being honest, because I told her real fiscal reasons that aren't about my feelings. It's about what it is. I can't do it. We can't do it. She acted like I did something, like I was like, you put me up. You set me up for all this. It's really annoying. If I read her email, she'd look worse than I'm trying to make it out to be. The point is, she tried to gaslight me, and that made me mad. Because when you come and you try to sell me something, if you speak nothing but the truth, and I don't like it, and I reject it, you as a salesperson and as a business professional need to realize that people change their mind. You don't get mad that people don't want to sign up for what you're trying to sell. Sheesh, like, don't get mad at me. Don't make it a big emotional. I don't care how many hours you voluntarily put in. Shit doesn't always work out. Don't try to gaslight me. You're insulting my intelligence. Like that I'm too stupid to know. You need to tell me. And then I didn't reply to that because I was mad and I wanted to say something mean. And I was like, no, I need to try to be better. We're not just going to start writing people angry emails. And then she sent another one later about how upset she was about all the work she put in, implying that she put in all this and that we should make it right to her. Not in a threatening way, not demanding money, but it was like a guilt trip to follow, where it was like, well, now you should feel bad because of everything that I did and you guys stood me up. And it was like, dude, I never signed a contract for anything. And I even told you, if it was possible, I'd love to. And she got mad and got all, and so that made me mad, because like, now you burned me, so now you're getting burned. I'm sorry. That's what this is about on this channel. I'm not here to create drama. I'm telling the truth. I could just as easily have just ignored it, but it's like, you guys deserve to know why this shit happens. I guess there's no conference. Well, these people who hate us and hate our community are going to be like, look at what we did. We shut down their conference, those shills. It's like, no, we shut down our own conference because it was BS and wasn't going to happen. We tried. We learned some valuable lessons. Now we're moving on. And there were other things that eventually surfaced, found out that like Deb's YouTube account was from November of 2024. And it's like, oh, I'm a longtime follower of the community. And it's like, I don't know, dude. I know what long-term followers of the community look like. And I've only been here for like a year. So I'm just saying, dude, I'm not trying to flame her. She was nice to me, but then the email thing, she lost her professional reputation, and it made me feel much better about deciding not to participate in this whole thing. So that's it. And we were almost finished. We were almost done. It was almost over. But then she decided to open up another can of worms. Because there's something about people where when they feel like all their options are gone. In fact, I'm going to play it. I'm going to play you guys the clip. You guys have heard this. You guys have seen this. This is literally for fair use only. We're reacting to a clip from the 2008 film, The Dark Knight.
Targeting me won't get their money back. I knew the mob wouldn't go down without a fight, but this is different. They've crossed the line.
You crossed the line first, sir. You squeezed them, you hammered them to the point of desperation. And in their desperation, they turned to a man they didn't fully understand.
Criminals aren't complicated, Alfred. We just need to figure out what he's after.
With respect, Master Wayne, perhaps this is a man you don't fully understand either. A long time ago, I was in Burma. My friends and I were working for the local government. They were trying to buy the loyalty of tribal leaders by bribing them with precious stones. But their caravans were being raided in a forest north of Rangoon by a bandit. So we went looking for the stones. But in 6 months, we never met anyone who traded with him. One day, I saw a child playing with a ruby the size of a tangerine. The bandit had been throwing them away.
So why steal them?
Well, because he thought it was good sport. Because some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Thanks, Wendy. So, sorry guys, I had myself muted while I was drinking water. Anyway, so what happened was, Deb got mad, justifiably, not professionally, but justifiably, because she put in a lot of work and she felt that she got slighted, okay? That's very human, that's very true. Bless you, Deb, on all of your endeavors and whatever you decide to do. But I responded to her after all that, and I just said, you are unhinged. Never talk to me again. Because I was just like, why did it have to turn into like a multi-paragraph assault about what? I don't care. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? Just fly there anyway? Want me to take a loan? You want me to tell this community, if you guys don't show up, I'm going to be on the hook for $125,000. They're gonna repo my 25-year-old car. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I don't have any sponsors. I don't have any money. Can't help you. Sorry. But okay, so whether or not it was her intent, I felt like she just wanted to see the world burn, because she sent me some emails that some other people had been circulating with her. Stuff that they didn't want her to share with anybody. And I saw them, and I have them as receipts. And so I have to address it, because I have to. Because this community has a responsibility to the truth, and I will not withhold it from you guys. So a couple of people in this group, assorted Little Seasonist channels people, have decided they don't like me. They're entitled to not liking me, but like, I would expect that if you didn't like me, you'd at least pull a Dan from Father's Clan of whatever his channel's called and just talk crap blatantly, because that's what you think. Just say it. You know what I mean? Because if you have a YouTube channel and you're bigger than me and you don't like me, you could just say that, and you're entitled to your opinion, and you have like free speech literally. And plus, I don't even care. Like with that situation with Dan, he was talking trash about me on his stream, and I tried to come in to defend myself, and I was really nice about it, but it didn't matter because he had blocked me. So my chats were popping up, but people were like, are you here? He's talking crap, and you're not even there to defend yourself. And I was like, oh, I'm in. No one can see my chats, and it's because he had me banned. Now, he could see the chats I was putting in, but you know, it was like no one else could see. And the first thing I said to him, like, I was trying to be nice. I was like, you know, the thing I appreciate most about you, Dan, is that you're honest, you know? Oh, but anyway, no one saw those chats. And I eventually got mad because I was like, this is so petty, dude. You're like attacking me over stuff that's not even real. And you won't even let me like get a word in edgewise. Like, why not? What are you so afraid of? Just let me pop in the chat and say, no, man, that's not true. You know, Mad Pack says, if I don't like you, Connor, I'm man enough to say it. No trash, just the issues. Is that not what adults are to do? Jeez. Yeah, I agree. Like, we should just say it, man. Come on. Like, it's truth or community. Like, if you can't hear that somebody doesn't like the weird cult guy on the internet, like, who's going to blame you? You know? Like, come on. There's weirdos out here honking their horns and making people mad. So, Dan was mad. He didn't like me. He was jealous. He didn't like honking. He banned honking. He talked a bunch of crap. I don't know what his problem is. I was nothing but friendly to that guy, so it hurt my feelings. You guys know. You've been here. I've done nothing but promote that guy and say, I love how deep his voice is and his messages are so true. But apparently that's not good enough, so it hurts, man. You're stabbed in the back by people you thought were your friends. Or at least that we're on the same page. We're Jesus people, Little Season. We're trying to get the truth out. We're trying to take care of each other. Stabbed in the back, twist the blade. You know, I was like, oh, shoot. But even then, he had the balls to say it to the community, to the public, and he knew I would come. That's why he had me banned. He knew I'd have an opinion, and he didn't want my opinion. So at least he said it and respected Dan for that. But there are other people associated with Dan. Primarily, I'm just going to say it, Madeline from Leaving Babylon, who doesn't like me for whatever, you know. Actually, I'll give you the reasons. You guys want to know what the reasons are? And this is what I really want to talk about tonight, which is that you can't just decide you don't like people without doing research, or else you're not a truther. And like Leaving Babylon in particular is a channel that I've always said, oh, she's so well researched. So you would think that she knew how to do like a simple search or listen to like 5 minutes of your show before condemning you. But apparently not. Because she's got a new merch thing she's dropping and she doesn't want to be associated with me. I've seen the paperwork. So basically what's going on is that, she's decided that I'm like a bad influence, or that I'm not becoming of the image that Jesus wants us to have for the world. And the reason why is due to these images that are directly coming from her community. So this is what she believes, and you guys are going to laugh at this one. These are the images that condemn me. So, all credit where credit is due. That one's a little bit bad. And she even said, in her email that I shouldn't have, or that I had to take it down because my boss discovered it and I could get fired over it or whatever. And so, yeah, I had to make a fiscal decision so I could eat food. But anyway, she was offended by this because apparently the subject of World War II is just beyond her ability to research. This Bellamy salute, which is correlated with the national anthem, the Pledge of Allegiance, Francis Bellamy, it's a racist hate symbol. It's like, I just feel like that's so dishonest. Like, if you're a truther in this level and you can't know what I'm doing here, like, what? Okay, that's a given. If you saw that, you might think, okay, that guy might be on something. Maybe if you listened to the video, you would know otherwise, because you'd know. Like, if you didn't know, you could listen to the video and it would tell you that I was not in any way endorsing hate or anything like that. So I don't know, whatever. You don't have to be associated with that. Fair enough. But there's more. Now, I don't know why this one was chosen. I'm not sure. Yeah, this one I don't know. Because in some of the other ones, they'll have like an item that's circled or something to show what I did. This picture is literally just me like inquisitively looking over. But I guess that one got him. Maybe, it's the robe. It's the robe. I should have known. See, because I wore that costume robe to be like keeping with the theme early on in the show, episode 9. What was that, like 40 episodes ago? My motif changed. I decided, that's laying it on a little thick. So Dave's like, why do you look like Mr. Beast? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I look too much like Mr. Beast. I must be his Masonic brother. And anyway, that's just ridiculous. Anyway, that one I can't give you any credit for. I don't know what I did. It's probably the robe. Oh, here we go. I laughed out loud when I saw this because this is another one of those ones. This is the exact example. Like, if you were a researcher, wouldn't you have at least listened to one episode of my show where I talked about that this guy is literally the reason I wear the yellow glasses? TL's like, what bothers me about that picture is you do not have glasses. I hadn't become glasses cult guy yet. I was still like robe cult guy. Anyway, this is Joseph Seed. He's the main villain of the Far Cry 5 game that came out in like 2014 or something. So remember, that was 10 years ago that this game came out, I swear. And I did play it. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm ashamed I played Far Cry 5 and 6 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Oh no, I played video games. But it's like, come on, like, can't you see that it's a joke? This guy has like a cult and he like takes over a county in Montana. It's not that they think it's me. It's that, like, look at where he draws his inspiration. Like as if it's some kind of a secret. Like as if people don't know because I explained it. Like, I literally said this is where I got the idea because he's such a creep. But don't worry, we know he can't be trusted because he's got video game characters as some of his aesthetic inspiration. This is another one that I don't know what I did wrong here. But this was sent as the package of like condemn him by these images. This is from Leaving Babylon. Like, I don't even care. I'll say it. This is her thing. She sent this. Like, I don't want this because of what he is. And it's like, you are frail. I don't even think you should be on the internet. It gets worse too. It's gonna get hotter. I'm sorry. Here's the other one. This, I get it. It's like Matrix and it's pretty spooky. I liked that one. I worked pretty hard to get that picture. I took like 100 takes to get that picture. I couldn't get it all. I wanted the cross. I wanted the 1 and 6. I wanted to be red and blue because it was the Matrix, and we were talking about the election was coming up, and it's like, it's all fake. Pick the pill, or, take the pill you're gonna take. It's all just, good times, having fun. But that also is so, like David says, so horrifying and offensive, apparently. So, and then this one, which it starts to get to the point where it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do? Gouge out my eyeballs? What do you want from me? It was literally, we were talking about a hurricane. That episode was about a hurricane. You didn't even watch it. You're dishonest. It makes me mad. You know why I'm flaming you? Because you deserve it. If I'm sitting here having to correct a grown woman and a mother's behavior because she's unhinged and talking crap about me behind my back, and it's going to get worse, guys, and it's going to get really spicy in about a minute here, so just stay tuned. How dare I show my eyeball? Anyway, this is where it gets funny. They had to circle it so that you would know. They should have circled the other items. I feel like they left us out. Like all these other elements, like my robe or the fact that my eyeballs were looking in a direction that I don't know, dude. I don't know. But it's just, and the point of me telling you this is not because I'm here to stir drama. I think we deserve better than this. This chick is out here running her mouth about me behind the scenes and trying and defaming me, which is illegal, and I have receipts. But she's doing this, and it's based on this. What is... I'm the shill? Like, I think you need to get checked out. Like, you need to speak to a psychiatrist. You don't just go around circling things and being like, well, that's it. He's evil. Oh, this is a good one. A chest tattoo that I got when I was 16 years old. We take what we want, whispers of wonder. Well, that obviously reflects my ideas, attitudes, and current outlook on life. The oldest picture on my Instagram before I even had a channel. Again, any research would have shown that, like, you could have just asked me. Remember that other episode, guys, where I talked about this and how the guy that did it was drunk and he passed out or whatever, and I had to go back and have like a half tattoo on my chest for like 2 weeks or whatever. You know, but the backstory doesn't matter because these people are not researchers. They're shills, dude. I'm sorry. You are a shill. You didn't even look. And I'm not even afraid to say it. Like, I'm calling you out, bro. I'm calling you out because you thought that that you could just talk crap about me and that somebody wouldn't expose you. And there's a biblical verse about this, about what's done in the dark will be brought to light. And it's not only that it's being brought to light, I'm educating everybody about how we should have higher standards for how we treat people and who we have as leaders in our community. Because if this is the way you act when you think people aren't looking, then everything you put out is fake. You're like crapping on me and trash talking me when I actually do Sunday service teachings on this channel, and all you ever talk about are your fantasy ideas about what's going on in the North Pole. So how dare you condemn me? And not only that, how dare you attack me in a business transaction on March 27th or whatever it was, before I even agreed or disagreed to this event? It should be understood that in the sense of serving as a public figure, like you have many thousands of subscribers, when you're in a business deal with people, if you say things about other people that aren't true, that harms their character, it is illegal. It's called defamation, and you can be sued for it. Now that I've spoken that, I want to tell you guys a story. In fact, you guys may have heard of this. This is a guy called Billy Mitchell. And Billy Mitchell is a guy who got famous for playing video games. And he, according to the story, won a Donkey Kong tournament. He won this ultimate tournament. He's the first person to attain a perfect score of 3,333,360 on Donkey Kong, okay? Oh, this is Pac-Man. He's got a Donkey Kong one too. High scores on Donkey Kong. So basically, the long story short is his high scores were contested after members of Twin Galaxies forums found discrepancies in the videos he had provided. He showed the videos. It proved that he had cheated. They found out he used a modded controller. They found out he was playing on an emulated version of the game that wasn't correct. The guy cheated, okay? And it's a fact, and everyone knows it. All right? But what people don't know is that Billy Mitchell was recently exposed in the last few years by a very large YouTuber called Carl Jobst, or Jobst. I don't know how you'd actually say it. He's Australian. He's a big gamer too, but he found out that this Billy Mitchell guy was a total fraud and a lying sack of crap. And he thought, well, since it's a fact and we have proof that he cheated, that he was using a controller that moves in 8 directions instead of 4. It was an 8-way controller stick. You have to know a little bit about games. You'd have to do some research, right? Imagine that. So Carl does his research, finds out Billy's a fraud, puts out a series exposing him, publishes all the evidence. He is right. Billy Mitchell is guilty. But you want to know what happened? Billy Mitchell sued Carl Jobst. And even though Carl Jobst spoke the truth about this guy, Donkey Kong Champion wins defamation case against Australian YouTuber Carl Jobst, who has been ordered to pay $350,000 plus interest as well as legal fees to this guy who actually did the thing that he accused him of. So Ben says the whole thing's fake. Say what you want about it. All I'm saying is this is the precedent. Okay, and this is not the first time it's happened, and there are other cases where people have it's the video game, dude. The story's been around for years. He did it back in the 80s. Let's not go down that road. It's not made up. This guy's on the hook for that money. Okay, maybe it is made up. Maybe absolutely everything is a lie. We should just jump off a cliff then, huh? The point I'm trying to make is that if you have a bigger platform than someone else and you say things about them that are not true, you can say your opinion. You can say on your channel, I think this guy's a douche. I think he's a shill. I think that he is, a false teacher, a heretic. He doesn't reflect what we believe is like a Christian or a Jesus community. Let me read it. Oh, it's bad, dude. So if you say what you want and say it's your opinion, you do that. That's fine. But if you enter into a business type circumstance like this conference, and you tell the conference organizer things that aren't true about someone else, and it results in some sort of loss or potential loss, you have signed the deed to a defamation suit. I will read as quote, Connor has been, in the past, part of social disorder movements in Portland, Oregon, I believe, that were essentially weaponized for disorder campaigns in the 2020 riots, or so I believe. But see, saying that you believe that in this context doesn't get you out of it, because you're attacking me in a business transaction. And recently, others have taken screenshots of him in less than great publicity poses. I will absolutely not affiliate with him in this community. I've attached screenshots for your reference. Those were the reference screenshots you guys saw earlier. My view is I do not see this being the image that our Lord and Savior would have us portray to the world. The Nazi pose was only from a couple of weeks ago, but he took the video down because his employer found it and said he could be fired. And I will say, she believes that Paul and the team and JT and everyone mean well, but they don't share the personal conviction that they should blackball me. Like, because it's her opinion that everyone should blackball me. That's basically what she said. Okay, and I'm not, I have it. I'll publish it if she takes it any farther. The point I'm trying to make is that, I don't care. Like, you don't have to like me, but just don't do this, because this is bad. Okay, and the reason why this is bad is because you can't be out here telling people that I'm a terrorist. What the fuck? Seriously. Let's talk about this, okay? Starting with the worst, lady. If I really am someone who was involved in organizing the riots in Portland, why would you want to make enemies with me? If I'm some unhinged maniac, why would you want to do anything to make me mad at you? I don't even know, dude. I don't know what you're thinking. But just aside from that, because evidently she doesn't really think that, or she's not afraid of anything like that, or else she wouldn't have said that. Because if you really thought I was like a bad guy, you'd be scared of being my enemy. So you don't really think that. You just like to defame me based on nothing. Not a good look. Secondly, I don't know if you guys know this, but Portland was destroyed by leftists. Historically, George Floyd and the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone in Seattle. Those were leftist protests. All of you guys know that I was in the, I don't know what you call it. I don't even know what you call it. I guess the MAGA camp. So all I'm saying is I don't like this shit. I don't like people talking about me behind my back, and I'm not. The way I see it is, if you want to not have trouble, don't go waking snakes. You don't have to like me, but don't do this like try to sabotage me to other people. It's BS. It's total BS. And really, it's like, I would like to just leave it at like corrective action. Like, you just don't fucking talk about me ever again. But I've got everything I need. I got what I need here. And here's the thing, Madeline. I don't want you to apologize to me. I just don't want you to ever say anything about me again. Just don't. Because I was nothing but kind to you. I was nothing but supportive of you. And I don't care if you don't like my World War II investigation video. Like, that was dirty what you did. And we're lucky. I mean, I guess we could say that we're lucky for now that it hasn't done anything to damage me as a person. There hasn't been any punitive damages, but that's what this does. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick, dude, but you really hurt my feelings. And I'm sorry that I had to be all scorched earth tonight, but it's like, the people deserve to know the truth about who these people are and what they're saying and doing. Because if you all want to act like you're, think about it. Don't try to turn this into a, you burned me first. I'm not going to be told by you what's biblical. See your way out. We're done. We have nothing to talk about, you and I. Nothing at all. If you want to hear about me again, it's going to come in the form of a letter arriving at your house. Let's just not. I'd rather you just go on with what you're doing and never talk about me or to me again. That is me being gracious, more gracious than what you deserve. This could have just as easily resulted in them saying, we don't want you in the conference because you're a Nazi or a terroristic antagonist. And you're lucky that I don't care that much what people think. So what? If someone's going to think I'm a terroristic antagonist, just go ahead and think it. That's it. I don't really have anything else to say about leaving Babylon. Leave. Bye-bye. Anyway, I hate to be petty, dude, but I was ran through the petty ringer by all these people. And it's worse. It's worse. It's not because it was done public or not. It's because you did it secretly thinking I wouldn't know about it. That's why I'm exposing you. Because that is what it's all about. You think the eye of God doesn't know what you're doing? Slithering around like a snake while you propagate that you're some kind of like truther and we're all transparent. We all love Jesus, and you're gossiping. Take your churchianity and get out of here. I don't need it. That's it. If you want to watch her show, she has great content. She has great research about the stuff she's talking about, but just don't try to become her friend. And don't waste your energy trying to promote other people, apparently, because it just comes back to haunt you. And you cannot be mad at me for exposing it. You did it. That's how it works with God. You can't hide from the eye of God when you do things and say things. So maybe that's the big lesson for everybody. Let's live our lives as if people can see the things that we say. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And it doesn't matter if you sent it in an email or if you whispered it in the back alley where you thought no one could hear you. I thought she was a nice lady, and I just found out that she's just judgmental and like doesn't like it because I'm not Christian enough. And the fact of the matter is, in every city in this entire continent, there are abortion clinics. And on social media right now, there is a church of Satan operating. An actual church of Satan, and I'm the bad guy. Me. 1,700 subs in the back corner echo chamber of YouTube. I'm the one that people don't like. They don't want to be associated with my filth. Keep your dress clean so you can sell your shirts. I'm sure you'll do great. God bless you. And then one more thing. I'm done with this. We're finished. It's okay. It's over. I don't know what else to say. I am just going to tell you that I will always tell you what it is. I don't care if it sucks. The truth is ugly. The truth hurts. And half the time, you're too scared to be the one who has to bear the burden of saying it. Admit it. It's a world of shit. And you deserve shit. You deserve me. Right? Whoa, this has been a hot Wednesday, dude. I'm sorry. I hate to do it. Maybe this will be a lesson to people. Don't mess with me, dude. I'm not going to just sit idly and have people trash talk me and like as they parade around like I'm so sweet. Check out my channel. If you could see the conversations I had about her when no one was looking, you'd really be mad. I was nothing but nice about her, dude. It seriously breaks my heart, bro. Dan, Madeline, who's next? Just come out now and tell me. Cut the cord now. Burn the bridge now. Scorched earth, baby. Where are my lighters at? I had a couple lighters for my thumbnail. Scorched earth, baby. Let's go. Sha. Burn it down and get it over with so we can find out who's on what team, because this is the cutting edge of conspiracy theory research and the blade cuts deep. And yeah, I don't know, guys. I didn't want it to be all bad. It's supposed to be Wednesday. We're supposed to be having fun. We're supposed to be honking and having a good time. But sometimes you just have to deal with a flat tire. I'm sorry that there isn't going to be a conference. It's frankly dangerous. Someone's going to try to like stab one of us or something. We have haters. We have enemies. We have enemies in our own midst that we don't even know are enemies. And it's like, look, I probably could have handled that privately, but no. This is a truther channel, and I am raising the bar. We expect raw and real. When the government says, well, there's the JFK files, I better get every dang page. And there better not be a single black line on there. And I don't care if it says that the tiny hat people did it and you don't like that the world's run by them. I don't care. I didn't come here to be a churchy Christian guy. I came here to speak the truth in a world of people who just will not do it. And I don't know why. I mean, it sucks, yeah. And don't get me wrong either. The rest of the creators in the circle have been totally great to me. That's why it's so shocking and irritating. Because it's like, come on, dude. I am not fake. Just ask me, man. I'll tell you about how my life has been hard as hell. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to like ask for sympathy. I'm just saying it's like, dude, there's no way I'm part of anything. I can't stand the leftists that burned down Portland. I can't stand the baby killing clinics. I can't stand Trump. Like, what else do I have to tell you? I used to like Trump, but now I don't. People grow, people change. If we cannot develop the mindset to put aside our preconceived notions about who people are, then we're just going to be a bunch of a-holes. So it's like this. If you assume that somebody is a crazy bad guy, you're doing them a disservice. If you assume somebody is a great good guy, you're doing them a disservice. The service that people deserve is a fair shake. These Creators in this community have given me a fair shake, and they have given you a fair shake, and you have given me a fair shake, and that is all I ask for. And if you decide you don't like me, if you decide I'm too real, or if you decide that I'm like unhinged, well, do it then, dude. Go. Because this is not the evangelism network. This is not, whatever they call that. That is that called the evangelism? The TV show where they have the Christian people in suits try to make sad eyebrows, try to get you to donate to their thing. And then they're like, yeah, the Lord wants you to... Oh, TBN. Good one. The point is, guys, that I did not come to YouTube to make money or to get famous or to do any of this. I just wanted us to be able to like raise the bar so that no one gets away, because I have never gotten away. I have never gotten away with anything. And even now. What is that, dude? Is that a gunshot? Give me just 1 second. I heard some really it might have just been a car wreck. I live pretty close to the highway. So you hear every once in a while like, boom. Forgive me, okay? I am trying my best to manage this. I've been sick to my stomach all day. I probably should have just said nothing. I probably should have just, chug along, we gotta all be friends. Everyone, kumbaya, or whatever. I am not that way, dude. I always say this, think about me as someone who got out of prison recently. And so don't expect me to be churchy. I was a horrible person moments ago. Okay. I just think that we should be aiming for the sky, for ourselves, for each other, and for the people that we watch and give our energy to. I just think that we all, because I remember this, you guys know about Tom McDonald. I always dissed on him and stuff because I felt like he was he was controlled op to me. And I felt like he would never speak the truth because it was it's too controversial. And then he came out with Ben Shapiro and it's dang it, he's one of them. And I sat back and didn't make music for a while because I was like, oh, we've got the rapper we need. I'm so naive. And I do this all the time. I watch content creators, and it's not to say that our guys aren't great. That's why I'm so glad to be here, because we got people like the Rev, who is just all about the book, my guy. Or people like Paul and JT, who they ask the questions that you're not supposed to ask. JT's asked the World War II question on Rumble. He's not afraid to ask the question. I don't have all the answers. Notice he didn't. We're working together to figure it out. That's what this is about. Finding the truth at any cost. And that cost is sometimes that I have to be the bad guy. I'm going to be the bad guy. And that's okay. Whatever, dude. I'm not going to continue on with it. This is tonight. This is your night. Enjoy your spotlight on the Cult of Khan, because you're a fart in the wind now and we'll never talk about you again. So, and that's what it is. No offense to Deb, sweet lady. God bless her endeavors. May she make much money on whatever it is. As far as Madeline goes, best of luck with her channel. I hope that she continues to pursue whatever's up there, Santa Claus's mansion or whatever. I also think there's something there. So, and then as far as Dan goes, I don't even know what his deal is. I think I'd probably be chill with him if he was actually sorry. If he apologized, he was like, "Yeah, dude, that was a dick move. I should have given you a chance." Because he never asked to come on my show. I'd have had him on. It would have been Party Bus episode 2, Dan. I don't feel bad about that. The only guest I've had is Rev. He's had my back through a lot of stuff. He's a good guy. So I can definitely say, check out Truth Unfiltered YT. That's my man over there. He's a cool guy. But yeah, dude, I just really want to be a lover, not a fighter. I would rather us just laugh and have fun and have a good time. And that is what I'm here to do. And that is what we're going to do, ultimately. But I'm also just the kind of guy that's I can't lower my standards for any reason at all. I'm not gonna go out of my way to continue conflicting with people, but I gotta make sure that people understand that I'm not the one to toy with any of this stuff. As we approach the truth, I'm gonna be the one that says it. I had to be. Everyone that I knew and was close to was a big Trump supporter, and I started seeing stuff that didn't smell good. So I can admit I was deceived, and then I started seeing things, and I had to be the one that was that is not right. And so I just say it like it is, dude. And again, I know that everyone has their own way of doing things and their own opinion on how things should be done, but this is like the raw ass channel, you know? Like, that's what I'm here to do. It's not going to be for everyone. This is a adults only episode. You know what I mean? Like, screaming profanity, talking about stuff that's just, this is all, it's not even how I wanted it to go. I would have rather have just not. I shouldn't have even said anything, of course. So I feel bad because then I've just done a giant, like, I'm the guy who just wants to love everybody, but now I have to fire artillery over here at people because they won't shove off and just let us party. You know what I mean? It's like I have to be the bad guy. That's the last thing I want to be, but I will be that for you. I will be the one that says this is how it is. Love it or leave it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if that wasn't the message you wanted to hear tonight, but I said it, Scorched Earth Baby. I probably should have done a better job of being like, disclaimer, if you're not ready for fire tonight, just don't listen. And yeah, it is what it is. Perhaps in the future, we'll be able to coordinate some kind of a meet and greet where we can get together and talk and share our journeys, our stories, our testimonies, and look forward to what is to come. But it's going to be like this. You know, they say when you assume something, you make an ass out of you and me. People made assumptions about me that made an ass out of me, so I had to make an ass out of them. It's par for the course. Main character's kind of like it's like the worst of me. I'm sorry. But it's the real guy. It's the real as it gets, you know. I know that that's why you guys are here, is because I'm the real guy. I say the real thing, even if it's not always that great or that eloquent or even that well researched. But that's my shtick, is that I just tell it like it is, and you know, it sucks. It's like you get fired from your job because because your boss sees that you said something you're not supposed to say. Like, that's the ultimate falling on the sword of conviction, you know? It'd be better if all I ever did was Sunday service, so that all I ever was like Jesus focused, and then I would never say or do anything mean or hateful or expository or whatever dramatic petty thing that I've been lowered to. Whatever it is, like, if only I was just that Sunday service con, then there wouldn't be the look at that shill and people talking crap on the internet. You know, there's this channel, I'm not going to say who it was, but they were talking about Paul and everybody, and I said I'd get back to it. And they were talking about the hagiography thing. They were crapping on Paul and JT and technically me too, but I don't think they even named me because I'm just a little fish in the pond there. But this person was then like, they were defaming him, and I got mad because it's like, you don't bear false witness against my friends and then think that people are just gonna not do anything about it. And of course, in those videos, they had the comments turned off. So petty. Here, I'm gonna make a video talking about you, and then I'm gonna block you from being able to talk. Like, I'm sure that's the case now. Like, I'm sure by now, certain people got blocked because they kept saying things in chat and arguing, and it was just, we're done. It's over. Hey, you did it. You're done. And it's just, that's what it is. I don't like you now. Bye. But the whole issue just, I don't even know. I don't know. I'm wiped out, dude. I had a long day. I didn't even get any dinner after work because I had to stay late because it was this mess, and I got home and I had to do the show. So, I mean, guys gotta eat, dude. So I'm gonna have to do that at some point. But yeah, I aspire to be a positive addition to this community in whatever capacity I can be. And I really, really want to ask the hard questions and say the things that you're not supposed to say. I was saying in the discussion there that's like, yeah. I always say it's like, we're talking about more things we're not supposed to talk about. So whatever, you know. I try my best. I want to say thank you to all of you guys for being here, for joining me for this. I'm not going to just run out on you. David's like, hangry con man couldn't contain his rage tonight. TL says, you would rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Kathy Slaw says, if you don't stand up for yourself, no one else will. Adrienne says, we're tired of being lied to. Jay says, if you were the perfect Christian without an interesting past, we probably wouldn't all be here now. Thanks, Brother Jay. It's good to have Jason Jack here, too. You know, I have to say, out of everybody, not he in particular at all, but I just mean, like, Jason Jack is such a juggernaut. Like, as a man of faith and research, and also a man of the cloth or whatever. That's not what we would call it. He's a medical professional. He's an accomplished man. It does me a great honor to be a part of a community of people that are so diverse and so different and so profound and so valuable. And for me, that's the way it is. Jason Jack says, hate you're hurting right now, bro. Bright days ahead, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that a lot. I know we're good. Here's how I am, right? I'm always like, yeah. And then whenever anything goes south, I take it really hard. Like, I'll probably listen to this like tomorrow and be like, it wasn't even that bad. He didn't even get that mad until like an hour and 40 minutes in or whatever it was. Like, I tried to hold it back for so long. I tried to not get mad for so long, but I just was like, guys, what is going on? And really, if I could have it my way, it should never have even happened. Like, I should probably have, and I don't regret it, but it would have been better if we'd all just at least pretend to be friends at all times until the kingdom, and then we get over our beef later or something. I don't know how to phrase that. I would have liked it if she had messaged me and was like, hey, what is this? Like, I don't want it to reflect on me that you're like a Nazi or something. You know what I mean? So, and that I could have understood. Like, when we looked at the pictures, I was like, dude, that was too much. Like, if I had a big following and I was like Sam Hyde or like Matt Kim, or like someone who had like I'm self-sustaining. My channel has tens of thousands of subs. Everybody knows me as a guy who says things that are wild and out there. And then I said something wild and out there, I'd be like, oh, it's par for the course. But people just don't know me. You know, I have to remember that. Jason Jackson, I try to use the 23-hour rule, but after that, if I'm still pissed, it's on like Donkey Kong. I thought about it all day. Like, I was getting more and more pushed because it was like, I'm going to have to say something. I'm going to have to say something. And it just kept getting more and more compounding until it was like, all right, dude, I'm just going to say it, bro. I'm just going to let the floodgates go, because it's like bridges. If the bridge is burnt, like, don't be mad at me for throwing whatever it is in the fire. Nobody wants to be assaulted, not by the people that you look up to. You know, they say, like, don't ever meet your heroes or whatever. I'm not saying that Leaving Babylon is like my hero, but I really liked her show, and I'm just mad. I'm really disappointed. Dang it. Who knows? Maybe we'll make peace one day. I don't know. I get it, though. I don't expect people to want to be mated to my crazy guy outfit and my crazy guy aesthetic and my crazy guy talk. You know, that's why we do our own thing over here, and you know, you don't have to come over here, or I don't have to be over there, and you know, we are different people. We are not a monolith. Like, this community is full of different people and different backgrounds, and different expectations, different beliefs, man. We're not all on the same page about everything, but yeah. We should be able to ask. And we should be able to have the confidence to ask. You know, we're all in a different spot in this journey. I always want to be more forgiving, and then I like do something like this, and then I'm like, man, it is true. It's not Christ-like to like burn stuff down. But I always think about like the temple and like the whipping of the merchants and stuff. And I know that doesn't equate to this, so don't get me on that. I'm just saying that I just when I see stuff that's injustice, and it is injustice, it's injustice. Because any of you guys know that if you just watched my channel a little bit, you'd be like, oh, it's like a joke, it's like a shtick. Isn't that what they call it? A shtick. Like, aren't there people who do, like, look, here's a good example. I know he's not a good guy, but you guys know like Alice Cooper, the rock and roll guy. Like, do you think that he like wakes up in the morning with corpse paint on and like looks in the mirror and he's like blacking out his eyes? It's a show. And I know he is kind of not the example. I think they say he's a Christian, but I just, you don't know. I don't know. It's not my thing to decide. But the point is, like, it's satanic rock music, you know? And Yeah, Lady for Liberty says he's a Christian. I've heard he is. Like, and if you claim Jesus, like, that's better than people who don't, right? At least you're saying he's the king and son of God. Like, that's pretty big. I don't know why they didn't mention the Level 33 show. It probably because it was like really good and about Freemasons. They didn't want to, like, you don't want to give credit. You don't want to advertise him. Jay says he hopes that we can make peace because it would bring peace to the whole community. It pains all of us when there's discord, but I think we all have some blame. It's not like, and I did preface this by saying this, but it's not like I don't have an extremely unapproachable aesthetic. Like, I get that. And if you grew up churchy, like, it would be really hard to shed that idea of, like, you'd be mad. You're like, these people can't be talking. That guy was in a gang last year. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. I really don't, like, Paulie's like, I'm the House Freemason. Yeah, he's like, I don't think you're the only one. Huh? I think we have a couple. I think we have more than one. Even my brother's, like, considering becoming a cop because they got really good jobs in police around here and he's got the right experience. And he's like, I could get fast-tracked to detective. And he's like, I'd probably have to become a Mason, but, you know, at least it'd pay for the garage. It's just, the bottom line is, and this is actually what I really wanted to say tonight, and so since we're coming full circle, here it is. The Little Season community is amazing. We are so blessed to have each other. Fights or otherwise, we still believe in Jesus. That's better than what you get everywhere else. You go out there and you find a sports team that's the rival of yours, and then somebody wins or loses, and everybody beats each other, beats the crap out of each other in the parking lot, riots and destroys the downtown area. That happens over sports. And it's like, was that a fight worth having over something so dumb and not going with you? And this is like, is it that? No, it's not. It's not valuable. It's not us fighting over these dumb, petty disagreements. Or it's not. We're just as bad as them. You know? Like, I am just as bad as, like, a tailgate guy who had 6 beers and saw that guy with the other jersey, and I was like, hey, you shut your mouth. And I'm like, that's basically me. But it's like, I'm still a human man, and that's like the lesson for the night, I think, is that we have to treat other people with, like, the expectation that there could be much more than meets the eye. Whether it's that there's more good in someone than what you think, or whether there's more wickedness in someone than you think. We shouldn't pass judgment on people, especially people that we've never even spoken to before. And I just felt so amazed that we're this far in that we're not doing that. You know? I just think that's shitty. And, like, yeah, it's like, I made it public, but, you know, technically there was a third party. That's all it takes. That's literally the defamation definition. It's like, if you said something that wasn't true in a context like that to a third party, who's technically, like, the organizer, it's bad. Like, it's like, I was shitty. You got to think more. Like, that's the whole point, is everyone's got to think more. Let me tell you guys a story. A couple years ago, I was at the Wendy's. The same Wendy's that I just reviewed, 2 weeks ago? And I was waiting in line. It was a long day. It had been a long day for me. I'm sure the guy behind me had a long day. And I gave the girl my card, and I was waiting for her to, like, run it and give it back. And before she could give me my card back, the guy behind me, like, yelled out the window at me, like, get out of here, like, hurry up, or whatever. He was mad. He thought that I was doing something. I don't know what he saw. He might have saw my arm come in and thought I had gotten food or something. And he was, like, wondering why I wouldn't leave so he could pull up and get his food, which I'm sure he was very hungry, probably a hardworking guy. His truck was kind of old. He doesn't have a lot of money. Dude, I know you, bro. I am you. Like, I understand. But he was mad. And he got mad and he unhinged and he yelled something. And of course, this was a couple years ago. I'm steadily improving, but just a couple of years ago, I was even more raw and horrible. And I yelled something back at him, and I was like, yeah. And he could tell he was in the wrong because I said, I didn't even get my card back. You whatever. And he realized, oh, dude, I was wrong. Like, that guy didn't do anything, and then I just acted like a huge jackass. Like, that was the guy, and he realized it, and he was like, I'm sorry, dude. And even I was like, I'm not taking it anywhere. I don't care. Just shut up. Like, just shut up, man. Just wait until you know before you fire off an assault on me. Anyway, It was fine. But the lesson here is not what happened. The lesson is what could happen. Like, what if I was some kind of guy who I had been in prison most of my young life? Like, what if I was sitting there in the Wendy's drive-thru? And this is the first Wendy's I've had in 15 years. I went to jail when I was 14 because I killed somebody over a dispute. I ran him over with my car or something. And I've been in jail for 15 years, beating people up, fighting, doing all this prisoner stuff, you know, prison rules. And you don't disrespect me because that's not how we do it in the house. And this guy behind me in the car, like, yells at me over the card. And it wasn't like I cut him off or something and he yelled at me. I was totally innocent, just buying my food, and now you're gonna come after me. And like, think about the kind of unhinged people that you could get sitting there in the Wendy's drive-thru that you decided to talk trash to, and then he just comes out and does something horrible to you. And it's not who I am, but what if I was that guy? It doesn't justify the bad behavior. It's just an understanding that when you grow up with a hard life and you're up against violence and poverty, you realize the potential that people have for evil. And so I don't go around waking snakes and talking trash and trying to like judge people, because the first time you do that, you get smashed in the face. And I'm the first one to tell you that when I was in that band, that one where we got blacklisted, I said some stuff backstage that I didn't think anyone else heard. Wasn't even that bad. I think I was just saying something like, everyone's really excited to see us instead of them, or whatever. I was 16. And at the end of the show, I was outside getting pictures with fans. It was our first show. We were so excited. And one of the guys from that other band came up and just headbutted me in the face and like destroyed my face. Smash. And that's what I got because I didn't think that people were capable of such wretchedness. I didn't think someone would attack me over what they perceived was crap talking. I didn't even do anything, really. I was wearing a jacket with their band sticker on it, you know? They missed all that. Crack! And I think about it all the time. I had to learn that lesson. Maybe that was the Lord arranging me a lesson about not starting fights. Try to think about what you say before you say it. That's why when I come out and do all this, it's like, was that the right thing to say? I thought about it hard. I tried. I can only do my best. But we should all think about it. We should think long and hard about the idea that we don't know who anybody is, right? We don't even know what's real. We don't know what time in history we are. We don't know the history of our people, of our nations, of our technology development. We don't know anything. The only thing we know is that God loved us and sent his son to die for our sins. That's what we know. That's what I know. And that's the only thing that matters to me. And I don't care if it doesn't pay. You know, I've done a lot of hours of Sunday service, and that doesn't pay, and I'm not asking to be paid. But, like, it's different when the reason why you do things is about something real and something bigger than you. Like, that there's an actual eternal purpose for why we're all here. And I'm not trying to tell you guys that I know how to navigate this crapshoot any better than you guys do. I don't know what's going on. You know, anyway, I don't think that the issue is that anyone's claiming to be innocent. I think they owned it, but they were just saying that it was taken out of context or whatever. And it's like, I don't even care. It's over. All I care about is that we go forward and that we continue to seek the truth, no matter what it costs, that we keep our eyes fixed on Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. And if it's possible, may God help us all. Because I don't even know what is going to happen. Is there going to be an alien invasion? Are we going to be taken over by AI? Is there an underground subterranean Nephilim horde? Is there actually a holy city, Camp of the Saints in the north? Like, what is true? I don't know. But I'm interested in finding out, and I'm excited to continue on the ride with you guys. It has been one crazy, heated, rather uncomfortable, but I think necessary, and probably going to have reverberations of problems and everything else kind of a Wednesday, but you know what? There's only 2 more days left in this week. We are almost through to the other side, and then we'll start on another one and see what that week has to throw at us, right? Let's go. And I don't care. I'm just happy to be rocking and rolling on that party bus with you guys. Destination Kingdom. And if I turn out to be a shill, just take what I say, right? Just if I say something true, just believe that. Don't worry about the messenger. Focus on the message. And in our case, luckily, Jesus is the messenger talking about, the imminence of his kingdom and the establishment therein that goes on forever and into eternity. And then eventually we, new heaven and new earth. We'll get there. All right. Guys, it's been an absolutely crazy night. Like I said, what even was this? But, if there isn't any excitement, then you're not living. And all press is good press. And, I think somebody said, I didn't see who it was. But yeah, take care, everybody. Look out for one another. God bless you all. And no matter what happens, it's been a fun ride, right? It's been a real fun ride. Guys, you have been listening to the Main Character Podcast, level 37. And what did we call it? Scorched Earth, baby. All right, y'all. It's been good. I will see you all on Friday for Burj Khalifa. We will be back Sunday for the main character. I'm sorry. Sunday service. I don't even know my own show schedule. Sunday for the Sunday service. And then Monday for Guys Gotta Eat. And y'all, I gotta eat right now. So with that being said, guys, have a beautiful night. God bless you. We continue forward in Jesus' name. Amen.
Investing in my discretion, teaching the lessons, impressions to keep you guessing what I do next, man.
Now when the 1,000 years have expired, Satan will be released from his prison. He will go forth to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together for the final battle, an army whose number is as the sand of the sea.
It's amazing the affirmations that come my way when I fake it until I make it. The truth is waiting, complacent organizations. They say I'm racist, they hate and they making payments on my vacation. I'm the man, I'm the king, I'm rejecting what you think. Rearranging your mentality, got some Kool-Aid you can drink. It's a scam, it's a plan, it's a con, and I'm your man. You know I tell it like it is, I hold the secrets in my hand.